Hey everybody.
Hey, what is up? It is great to be here with you on this Sunday morning or afternoon, depending on how early you've gotten up.
I'm Rene.
I'm Jon Shapiro, John Saint to some, mostly Jon Shapiro to most.
So anyway, today.
Oh, today's an amazing day. We have in our ongoing live series about people with amazing mindsets. We have a longtime friend, confidant, and somebody that we truly love and is honored to come on the show today. Doesn't really like doing a lot of social media, so we really appreciate them taking the time. Jamie Friedman is a health coach. She's involved with some amazing weight loss program and some amazing other things. Her mindset is incredible. And she's somebody that we love, and we don't love a lot of people.
That's not true.
No, we love many people. We're lovers of all. Anyway, let's get Jamie in. Jamie, whenever you're ready, come join us.
Let's see if we get her request.
Yes. So I think somebody's waving at us. Either that, or we're getting middle fingers
someone,
up.
No, they're waving. They're waving.
I can't see, so I don't. Either they're throwing tomatoes at us, or they're waving.
So we're just waiting for Jamie.
So
join.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about our relationship with Jamie, which is interesting.
It's very. But Jamie has a growth mindset, and that's what we love about Jamie through this whole thing. I mean, we love a lot about her. But let's see, is she requesting to be in yet? Let me see if I can. Oh wait, what's that? Oh, she is. We have the request.
Okay, get her in there.
Okay, Jamie. Trying to get her in. Okay. Oh, there we go.
And now we're waiting for Jamie and.
Oh,
there she is.
And she's sideways.
She's sideways and in.
Okay, I'm totally sideways. I thought it would work.
Anyway. We're gonna get this right.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. So this is the beauty of a live.
Okay.
Oh, yay!
Okay. So
I love it. You did it. It's
like the Masked Singer.
I found them.
Fantastic. How are you, Jim?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to be with you guys.
I'm so happy
we're
you're
so
here.
happy to have you.
This is so normal for us.
It is. This is what we do on a Sunday.
It's really what we do.
Except now it's with everybody.
Yeah, and thank God John is here because you always keep Rene and I focused.
I'm doing my best. I took a couple of focus gummies, and that is going to bring us right into the thing. So anyway, James, you are our second guest, and we're so happy to have you. This is a series about people with amazing mindsets, and you are somebody that fits that category 100%. I gave the audience a little bit of a roll-up as to who you are and what you're doing,
but yeah, please tell us what's going on.
I am your very dear friend. I love you guys so much. I am a mother and a wife of 25 years. And I did not know a lot about CBD. I didn't know a lot about mindset, how you could change your mindset or anything. I think like you guys, I went into John later than Rene and I went into my 50s like, what's this second half going to look like?
Right.
And obviously you can get through it with a lot of the stuff that you brought in the first half, your humor, you can wear funny glasses, or you can sort of like really say to yourself, like, can I be a little bit more authentic? Can I tweak some things? Can I choose to go into this second half with a different mindset? Even before you guys, I knew you were going to do this, and or CBD was going to play a role in that. I think going into my 50s, I really said, like, how am I going to be a little more authentic? How am I going to be a little more true? Not just getting by on, like Rene gets by on her looks, John gets by on his music. I would make people laugh, but how am I going to tackle whatever 50 plus is going to bring me? And I think it started on a trip to Israel that I took, a women's trip a couple of years ago, where I sort of took care of like the spiritual side of me, not necessarily the religious side, although I that came into it, but the spirituality and really like validating the way that I wanted to live. I wanted to live in the light and not the dark, and the positive and not the negative, and create that kind of a place for my kids, for me.
It's so interesting that we both, like, in this, like, really started to get into our spiritual side separately,
Yes.
but at
Yes.
the same time.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And we would just sort of check in on each other. I was like, what's Renee doing? What's happening over there? What is she? That looks amazing, Nay. And you and I sort of back and forth. And yes, we both sort of, we went that way to try and figure it out. And now we have sort of come back. I mean, I've been, you know, like a Shapiro fan for as long as there's been a Shapiro in my life.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny, James. I was talking about this before. You know, we believe that you travel with people throughout your life, and maybe in past lives too, and maybe other. It depends on what you believe, but you're certainly somebody that we've traveled with, and has always been a harbinger of good. Almost like this incredible sign that something wonderful is going to happen in our lives whenever you appear in a way. And I don't mean to be too flattering, and I don't mean to make you uncomfortable. But whether it was Jon Saint,
never uncomfortable.
Yeah, whether it was Jon Saint, or whether it was the beginning of mixology, or whether it was the beginning of mindset, you were always an early adopter of the passion that we had. And you had this amazing way to communicate it to an audience that we were trying to reach. And that's been consistent throughout our history together. And for no other reason. I mean, you're just, that's always who you've been.
Well, I got to tell you something. Even when you were, it was just fun. It was just fun. The fun of the two of you was contagious.
Same.
But you two, like, together, certainly separately. We do have separate relationships, you know, and Renee's always been like the closer one. But Jon, I mean, what you've brought to my life, what you've brought to my family's life is just, you've had just the same sort of an impact. And whatever it was, whether it was music, I mean, we thought it was normal that our friend's husband sang at CBGB and we got to watch him, and that's like a normal thing, right? Sure, why not? So when you then reinvented yourselves and you were like, we are these huge retail people, I was like, I want to come. Can I come to that too?
Wait,
okay.
Let's talk about reinventing for a second. Like,
Okay.
you talk about what's happened to you over this pandemic, and now you've become a health coach. Like, that's so interesting.
So that is, that's been huge. That was for me the last missing piece, my weight. I have struggled with my weight for as long as you guys have known me, probably, you know, my whole life. Grateful for that struggle, which only in hindsight you can see. It made me not just get by on what I looked like or who my family was or what I did or anything like that. I really had to develop a pretty wonderful personality. But it was really the last missing piece. It was hard for me to be a role model to my children, and before even my own girls, my nieces and my nephews, who, you know, who really seem to like look up to me. Hard for people to look up to you when you sort of feel like you're phoning it in, or you're just getting by. So after the trip to Israel, I started taking a Torah study class, which has become huge for me. And it is half biblical Torah study and half absolute, like a women's empowerment therapy group. It's phenomenal.
Mazel time.
And we dig deep, and things that perhaps I had learned and went right over my head, or I just didn't get in Hebrew school. All of a sudden there are these amazing life lessons. Sort of the idea of being the person who makes other people know there's good in the world. I want to be that person. I want my children to be that. Yes. And during the pandemic, during the lockdown, I really was their cheerleader. I wanted to keep, I mean, my kids had lost a lot. They did not lose their lives or their health. So in perspective, high school graduations and proms, and I had to bring a daughter home from Europe because she couldn't study there anymore, and my youngest one didn't go to camp. So I became their cheerleader, and like a mother, you tend to take care of them first, take care of your husband first, make sure everybody's happy. So we disbanded the drinking age, and we just drank and ate and tried to have as much fun as humanly possible. And with that, I gained at least 15 pounds. So everybody was doing really well. They were up, they were high, they were sort of getting through this. It was fun. And my underwear was tight. I couldn't even look at myself. People would be like, oh, let's take a picture. And I'd grab a small dog and place it just right like that. That's why I have a small dog, or a kid. And I couldn't, I was like, this isn't authentic. Filters, or I know how to dress properly from you guys, really. I know how to hide it.
You weren't taking care of yourself.
I was not. And I was really hiding. It was the last missing piece. And fortunately, like, my best friend went on this weight loss journey, which is really about eating. And it's really about eating properly and eating constantly and consistently, so that your body does not hold on to all the fat that it stores up all these years, because it never knows when it's getting food. I eat all the time. I had to eat right before going on, and if we stay on for 2.5 hours, I'm gonna have to eat again.
Right.
But I'm taking care of my body, and I have lost and kept off, it's 8 months now, 32 pounds.
Wow.
Oh,
So I
That's
took
incredible.
off the weight that I gained. I took off the weight that I've always been carrying around, and I am, for the first time in 52 years, I feel very comfortable. Just like what you guys said, let's go on Instagram Live. I was like, I watched Johnny Laz. He was adorable. He had so much to say. I couldn't imagine, what are we going to talk about? But sure, I can show up to anything now, because
That's
I'm
amazing.
nothing holds me back anymore. Sort of when you really challenge yourself and you really become authentic, everything that you're pretending to be, you actually become. I'm fine. Sure, I'll go on Instagram Live. Here I am with a funny nose.
So with that, you lost all this weight. You had this mindset to take care of yourself, now self-care. And then you decided you're going to help others. How did that happen?
Yes. So my friend who really coached me through this, she just kept saying, stop sending me people. Stop sending me all your friends. Just you go do this. And I was like, no, I'm just happy I got it off. I'm just happy I lost the weight. I'm just happy to be where I am. I'm not a poster. I'm not, I can't really sell anything that I don't like. You guys know that. If there was something that sat in our store for too long, John, you'd be like, what's happening? I was like, I wouldn't wear it. So, I really, and then there was a part of it where the part that clicked was, okay, if I go ahead and do this, if I coach, if I post, if I put myself out there, there's that accountability also.
Yes.
So
True.
I can't just go back to phoning it in anymore. I have to live this. I have to breathe this. This has to become my way of life now. I can't just, and again, if you want to be that
it's your lifestyle.
And if you want to be the person who makes other people believe in good people, then you sort of have to spread what you've learned. And
yes, you are an inspiration. You've always been an inspiration.
I mean, that's awesome, but okay. I love you. I adore you.
But and that's an amazing thing. And now you have to keep up your self-care. Like that is, you're accountable for that now. It's amazing. Really, really awesome.
And you guys have helped with that. That's the mindset too. I mean, I don't know if we can talk about your stuff. I certainly can't talk too knowledgeably about CBD other than yours.
Oh, well, of course, I want you to tell us about your experience with CBD and like how that's helped you.
So it's talking about mine also. So.
Well, so honestly, when you guys said this is what we're doing, this is where our focus is, just because of how I feel about you, I'm in.
Right.
But I didn't really know. I wasn't sure. And I was like, sure, CBD sounds fun. That's going to be fun. And I just started out with only thinking I'm going to support the Shapiros. This is what I do. These are my people, just like they support me. And I remember, I think that we first got happiness and we got rest. And I've told my kids, like, I'm not going to embarrass them today. And certainly I'm not going to mention them by name, especially Andy, who doesn't sleep well. So Andy does not sleep. We have spoken about this forever.
Yes.
She is a vampire, beautiful, like a Cullen, but a vampire, doesn't sleep. And I said to you, like, is this going to work? Will this help her? I'm so over her prowling the halls at night, or, you know, the melatonin just wasn't doing it. She was having so much melatonin. It didn't seem to be working. And you said to me, I've got this. I'm going to send you this. We're going to try this. And that was the rest. She tried it. I tried it. And again, not to embarrass anybody, Jessica and Marley Friedman, they use it. We all used that. And that's like a clear cut, this works. If you take rest 30 minutes before you want to go to sleep, you get a little calmer, a little gooey, as a friend of ours from college used to say, and then you sleep, you wake up in the morning, you are refreshed. It's a very easy, peaceful, it's not taking pills. I have tried in the past, different prescriptions that I was given, and I would get terrible, violent nightmares, or a terrible taste in my mouth, or I couldn't really get up and function in the morning. So it really started with that. And I remember taking Happiness just for fun, took a whole tub of Happiness. This one's almost empty, but don't worry. I get
okay. I was about to say.
But we took it out on my brother's boat. Hi, Glenn. And we couldn't get the boat off the dock. Something was wrong. And it was myself, more people I don't want to embarrass, Ricky, Skylar, Danny, Jesse, and I. We just didn't want to give up. Like, we weren't sure, how are we going to get the boat off? Something was wrong with the boat. We had already all taken the happy gummies because we wanted to have a happy day, didn't know what it could possibly do for us. Right. And if I tell you, we ended up spending an hour and a half. We were like boat MacGyvers. All these little girls running around. We're going to figure it out. We had to get a hydraulic lift lifted. We don't know anything about hydraulic lifts. For some reason, and we've been out on the boat 1,000 other times, we never did get the boat off the dock. We had the best time. We had so much fun. I mean, my niece Ricky literally could figure out how to get the hydraulic lift off, because we just, and I know that it was the gummies. We've been places where things don't work and you get mad and you get annoyed and you move on.
Yeah.
You had a happy mindset.
We really did. And whatever it is, whatever is in them is for you guys to speak about, and how it actually works in our bodies. That's really, I leave that to you. But I will tell you, it's just the choice that you are choosing happiness. And then you put happiness in your mouth and it tastes delicious. And you've made that choice. You're already there, really. Because that's
so great. I
what
love
you decided.
Yeah, that's it.
So I don't know that I can actually speak to how. I just know that it does. It absolutely works.
I mean, you could speak a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously part of the formulas that we built to get us to these mindsets have these plant oils in them called terpenes. And these terpenes have these amazing wellness benefits. And one of the wellness benefits of limonene, which we have in our happy products, is this uplifted effect. And so when you have this full spectrum CBD mixed with this limonene, you get this amazing, what's called the entourage effect. And it actually is this wonderful mood shift where you find this balance and your endocannabinoid system becomes optimized. And it's funny, I was listening to you talking about the weight loss and all those things. And I don't know if you remember, when I first got on this journey, I experienced a very large weight loss as well. My weight had always been a big issue for me. And when I first started using CBD in a regular, regimented way, I found that my appetite not only dissipated, but what was interesting was the relationship I had with food changed, because so much of the anxiety that I was experiencing was
causing you to overeat.
It wasn't causing me to overeat, but the eating was this comfort that sedated the anxiety.
Right.
And so while I was eating, I didn't feel as anxious. But when you do that consistently to abate your anxiety, obviously you're going to put on weight. And so what happened was you got this thing. And so when CBD started, For me, I saw this dramatic weight loss that went along with it for two reasons. One is because the products contain these terpenes that have natural appetite suppressant effects. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but Happy
No
has
idea.
limonene in it. And Happy is an appetite suppressant, as well as being this wonderful thing. There you go.
Keep going.
And our health products have humulene in them, and humulene is another natural appetite suppressant. So those two products have natural appetite suppressants in them. Yeah, which is amazing.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, so this is exciting. And so what happens is as you change your relationship with food, because your anxiety levels are changing, you don't have this constant need to want to have to go through the regiment of eating to abate the pain. And then suddenly you have this whole new lease on your relationship with food. And it's really all through CBD. And I think that that's been a big part. We have a product coming out very soon we're very excited about, which is an appetite suppressant, all natural, all organic, vegan and organic soft gel, which is going to be really exciting.
That's
So,
fantastic.
yeah,
And I love that it's soft gel, because that's the only thing that holds me back. Like it's during my eating times that I make sure I'm eating these, because they are delicious. They're really so are.
And I find, I don't know about you, that like after I eat, I usually want like a little treat. And I used to have a cookie, or I used to have chocolate. Yes. And now I have a gummy. It seals in your meal. It's sealed. I'm satisfied. Like that, it completely satisfies.
That's really funny. We haven't spoken about that. I absolutely do that at the end of my meal. Usually it's dinner, and I after I finish dinner, that's my larger meal of the day. I wait another 2.5 hours to eat, and that's usually something sweet. But always, depending on what, if it's dinner, then I go right into a calm. Calm is phenomenal. I mean, I think, Rene, you and I spoke about when we were watching that, and I don't think or want us to get political, but we were watching the news the other day and what was going on at the Capitol, and it was so upsetting for both of us. We were really struggling, you and I, with that. And I'm not somebody who has ever been prescribed antidepressants. And at that moment, I felt like I wish I had been. And you said to me, trust me, I've taken Calm already. And I went like, I have this. I have like this little arsenal in my house that I forget that I sometimes have. Because again, I know to go to bed. I know if I want to be happy. Right. I know that if I have like a big work day, I've got focus. But
so wait, that's what I wanted to ask you. How have you added it to your routine? Like, what is your daily routine with CBD?
So it really, because my eating is I eat a lot, but it is scheduled. I eat within an hour of being awake every day, and then I eat every 2.5 hours until I'm asleep. That's the program I was on. That's for the weight loss, and that's for the maintenance, which I'm now in. But I will, almost every meal combines CBD. So in the morning, when I'm taking I don't really take anything other than Synthroid, and because not everybody has Renee's hair, I take biotin. If you could get a biotin CBD, that would be delicious too. But so when I take those, I always take the health one in the morning, because to me that feels like that's how I'm going to get started with my vitamins, and I'll add that in throughout the day. Almost anytime I just feel like it, I'm making a choice, I will go for happiness. Because what else could you possibly want? So I've started out my day. I've already got health and happiness. It's like a toast.
And the Happy are so delicious.
They are the most delicious. I want every one of them to be like the Happy. We've had this conversation. It doesn't matter. I'll eat any of them. But some more than others. But then it was when, because again, we're not going to embarrass my children by calling out by name, Jessica Friedman. She was studying for her GRE. And you and I were on the phone, and I was like, this is a nightmare. She's like locked in the office or whatever. What am I giving her? What am I doing? And you said, you have focus, right? And I said, yes. And you told me like the exact thing. And I was like, oh my God, am I really going to do this? I don't want to be the reason that this doesn't go well for her. But I had seen everything else positive it had done, everything else you had said it was going to do. And so she did that. She actually decided for one day of studying She was not going to take her medication, which she takes to study. Is that embarrassing, Jess? Part of who you are. And she did that. She did exactly what you told her with the calm and the focus, right?
Mhm.
Was
Yes.
it the two of them together? And I'm not going to say it's why she got the most unbelievable score on her GRE.
Yay.
Like blew everybody out of the
Go
water.
Jess!
Probably the people at the GRE never saw anything like it. But it took everything, like from where there's like a little guilt and a little weirdness and insecurity in perhaps having a diagnosis of ADHD or taking medication for ADHD. A lot of people abuse those medicines for the wrong reasons. You know, so being somebody on them, it's not a great feeling. It's not something people really like to talk about. So the idea that there was this other alternative, this natural, this plant-based, healthy alternative and delicious feels great. You know, she doesn't have to wait until like the end of the day when she's coming down off of any of the medicine. And
that's the beauty of it.
That's huge. That would have been enough. Like all of the happy, being on the boat, happy when the boat didn't work would have been enough. The sleeping at night would have been enough. But I mean, we haven't even just really stopped there. You know, I was telling you about Evan's shoulder the other day, and sure enough, what shows up in my mailbox is you've got like that CBD cream now for him.
Yes.
And he's got like a major rotator cuff thing. And I mean, even if he shows up at some point during this, he's never going to be like, oh yeah, I'm like a CBD guy, because, you know, he tries to be all macho. But, and now I embarrassed Evan too. However, it's on his night table. I could take you in there. You'll see it. It's right in there. You know, willing to try anything. He's putting it on his gnarly old rotator cuff too. So it's
so you've really made it a part of your life.
My entire family's life. In one way or another, every one of us is using this the same way we're using the food that I now have brought into the house. Right. You know, the same way that we find anything that works.
Right.
You know, it's working for all of us amazingly. And it again, it just speaks to us being authentic again. You know, we're not, and again, people need to have medicine. This is not against medicine. If I have a terrible headache and I can't sort of wish it away, I'm going to take a Tylenol or an Advil or whatever. But there is just this kindness that we're treating our bodies and ourselves, and then hopefully going out into the world. That's what I think mindset does. For me, it has. That's what it has done for our family. The absolute choice, choosing to help and heal and calm ourselves so naturally, a little more holistically, is such a gift.
Yeah.
Huge.
And then you can be there for your family and everyone else and shine your light everywhere.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. You have the space available now to do all these wonderful things and all these portals and opportunities because you took care of yourself.
Exactly. And you chose. It's all about choice. You have to choose
every day.
So Jane, if somebody wants your services, somebody wants to understand what you do, how do they get in touch with you?
They should just call you. Just give them my number.
I'm happy to take the call.
Just give them my number. Give them my telephone number.
I mean, you're incredible. Your weight loss.
I don't really have a website or anything truly like that. Absolutely. Go to you.
What about message you on Instagram?
Message me on Instagram for sure.
Tell everyone what your Instagram is.
I mean, how much fun? I don't know. Jamie C. Friedman. Oh, yeah, that's
Jamie
what
C.
it is.
Friedman.
It is Jamie C. Friedman. I was going to say if Chwatt is in there. Oh, look, I just called out my whole family.
Whoa.
If Chwatt is in there, nobody could spell that anyway. I think it's Jamie C. Friedman.
Jamie C. Friedman at Instagram.
And
so
on Instagram. I know that the people you have been, so many of your clients have had amazing results so far.
Amazing. And I've been doing this, the coaching part I've been doing, this is my second month. I have 33 of the most amazing people willing to take a chance on me.
That is
true. Do any of them need CBD?
Well, so what's funny is when this all started at the same time of me sort of posting myself healthy and happy, there was always your gummies in the picture, whether I was sitting at my desk or whether we were on the boat, whatever it was, I always had them with me. Right around, that cannot be a coincidence that right around the time that I started to feel really good about myself and I made this decision,
Right.
I had mindset.
Yeah.
That was a big factor in my life. So I can't tell you
Cool.
how many people reached out to me and they said, okay, so these are weight loss gummies? You are in a weight loss gummy CBD sort situation? I was like, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm eating completely differently. I have lost a huge amount of weight. The gummies, the CBD, has really helped who I am and how I feel about myself at the same time. But yeah, they're not so much connected.
But like you said, it
but I
was
guess they
all of a
are.
sudden you realized, oh wait, maybe CBD is helping. Like it's a gradual,
Right.
it's not like it's a gradual, all of a sudden you notice.
It is. And I imagine that the build up, the cumulative effect is also great. But I'm telling you, Renee, and this is probably just a placebo thing that John might speak to. It is literally making that choice. So I know that I'm feeling a little fuzzy and I have 3 more calls to get through or somebody who's sort of struggling and really needs me. And I think to myself, you know what? I really need to focus. And there, Evan is outside. But I literally, I go and I get focused. Not my favorite flavor, but I do. But so right away now I've reached in, I've eaten it, I've made that choice, and instantly I know I'm focused because I sort of stopped myself. I was feeling unfocused. I made the choice. I went in here, and obviously all the real benefits of CBD are what gets me there.
Yes.
But the very first thing is making that choice.
100%.
The choice
100%. Yeah,
to change your mindset. Wherever you were headed, I would rather go here.
Literally
right?
choose your mindset. That's the whole thing. It's choose your mindset. It's, whatever mindset it is that you want. You have the choice. Growth mindset or a focus mindset or whatever mindset. And your mindset's unbelievable.
We're so proud of you.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much.
We love you too. If there's any advice that you would give to people, because I know you've introduced, like you said, this product to a lot of people.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people who are looking to try CBD?
Don't be scared of it. Don't be scared because I think there's that, for people who haven't tried it, there's that thought that like, am I smoking pot? What is this? What exactly is this? Not that I'm a aversion to that, but you don't really know. So, and what I have said to every single person is go on Mindset, go to their Instagram and go ask a question, message them. Ask your question, because I've had a bunch of people like, you know what, my kids are not sleeping and I've heard CBD is really good for that too. Or I'm really looking for something just to keep me, focused during the day. I'm having you guys are so great. You're so available to your customers that I have really, don't be scared. It's like, I was really scared to post myself at 52 in a bikini on Facebook. But I did it because it worked. It works.
Yes.
What I do, the way that I eat, this weight loss program, it works. Don't be scared to try CBD just because you haven't before, or because you're being inundated on Instagram and Facebook and social media with 1,000 celebrity endorsements and different ideas, and you just don't know what CBD is, and it's in CVS, it's in this place, it's in that place.
That's exactly it.
You guys are here to answer the exact questions. I know you have helped, Renee. I don't have to mention names, and to those people I will not, but you really, really helped some of my friends personally, some of my friends who are struggling with their children.
Thank you.
That's the thing.
In fact, we were thinking about renting space in your garage because you seem to be the distribution center point for all of Boca Raton.
I gotta just, and a little bit of Long Island.
Yes.
I've outed more people.
You have. You've done it again.
But I think there is something about just choosing obviously your mindset. It is the perfect tagline for you guys, because that's exactly, it is a choice. We could sort of stay where we are, right, and stay with what is safe and what is comfortable. And if that works, then stay. There's no judgment. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it just doesn't feel, if it feels disingenuous, if it feels like maybe I could be doing this a little healthier, a little differently, then you know what? Let me try this. Let me try plant-based instead of, you know, picking it up at a pharmacy. Let me go on Mindset Wellness. Let me talk to Rene and Jon, and let's just see, what is the worst thing that could happen? It doesn't do anything for you. What is the best thing that could happen? Your whole life changes. Life changes. We've changed our entire lives. Like, when the three of us used to be together, we were inside of a store somewhere. I would say to Jon, we don't have hangers. Hangers. And Jon would say, well, then you're not selling enough. And that was the end of that. And now look where we are. I mean, it just, we've lost tons of weight.
We chose our
Rene,
mindset. That was the
you
difference,
are ridiculously still beautiful. It's so annoying. But Jon and I look great for the first time. We're keeping up with you.
Yeah.
Jon, watching your journey, watching you, and I have never in my life, I didn't know, as close as we were, I had no idea you struggled with your weight. None. We were never open enough to have this conversation. Maybe you can only be open when you're on the other side. Maybe this will help somebody who's watching say, yeah, I'd like to be on the other side. And it's not so hard. It really isn't so hard. The weight loss isn't really so hard. You just have to be willing to really look at it.
And make the choice.
Right. And making the choice. And the little switch of your mindset, changing that is not so hard. And you guys have the perfect aids for that.
Yes.
You're incredible role models for all of it.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. We love you so much.
Oh, I love you.
We're so proud of you.
Love you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that 6 people watching us loved every minute of this.
and they can continue watching us, because we're going to save this and it'll be on our Instagram.
It'll be on IGTV, and we'll put it on all our other channels.
Yes. Well, we love you. This was so fun.
This was unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Thanks for asking me. I love this.
Of course.
And please come here.
Yes. Oh, anyway. Oh, let me just end with my, with our sponsor. We are sponsored by Mindset Wellness CBD.com. Go to mindsetwellnesscbd.com. Use the code Jessie10.
Stop it. She's going to be
Jessie10.
so excited.
So that is a great code to use. Use code Jessie10 for 10% off and free shipping.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Jessie, she's our influencer.
She is.
She's away on a birthday trip right now, but she's somewhere watching this, I'm sure, or she'll watch it later. And then kill her.
I think I saw her name come up.
Oh, did you?
Jessie10, baby.
That's so
all right.
great.
Well, yay! She's saying yay. I see that.
Oh, she is. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank you for this. Thank you for changing my mindset. Love you.
Thank you, Jane.
Love you.
Love you.